target. Maximum firepower.
Brace for impact!
Welcome to the Brace for Impact podcast. In this episode, we're going to review our last Clone Wars battle report, as well as review the changes to existing upgrade cards in Armada 1.5. So the battle report we just put up on YouTube was the second Clone Wars match that we posted, Dark Tide versus UnKenobi-able. This is a pretty good game. What did you think of it?
I mean, it was kind of frustrating for me because I was playing against Republic with the expert shield techs and Kenobi, and you added the jamming barrier. So like on some turns I'd be like attacking with full salvo and I'd do like a single damage.
Not a salvo, but like an actual shot, you mean?
Yeah, like a full battery.
Yeah.
Of like, 2 red, 2 blue, full pain. I got a double hit, and at the end of it is I get like damage in the end. And just a single one, I couldn't do enough damage to win the game.
Yeah, I really like the idea of Kenobi plus expert shield techs on like 2 acclimators and kind of just canceling 2 damage once a turn from each of them. Mm-hmm. Especially if you combine it with brace and make 4 damage 0, like that's really strong. Yeah. I'm still super disappointed with Implacable. I just think that the range restriction is so imposing.
I just don't think that Implacable is very good.
Yeah.
Based on like how advantageous it is to like have your ships like, be maneuverable. So if you want to attack with Implacable and not just have it hang in the back, it's probably going to get out of range at the point it's getting attacked, or one of your flagship is getting attacked.
Yeah, and I'm able to trigger it so infrequently that like when it's finally available to me, I've just totally forgotten about it.
Or it like does nothing, and like you basically just erase the damage with Kenobi and expert shield techs, and it doesn't even matter that it's there.
Yeah. So I don't know if
I really think that Navudabi is like the title to go to on the acclimator. I've just not been impressed with Implacable.
Yeah,
because like in this game, let's say that Implacable, was in range of the other ship. It had a hard enough time on its own. Like I don't think it had, the option to siphon damage from another ship.
Okay, I mean, like if we're analyzing the game, which we are, right?
Yes, that is what we're doing.
Right. I think I set up my ships well to deal with you and like because my goal is like for you to not shoot at Implacable. My goal is for you to shoot at Kenobi, and then Implacable would be siphoning off damage, right? So like in round 1, I felt really good, right? I'm just looking at the board and it's like I've got Implacable farther away from the rest of the stuff, right? Most of your fleet is not near Implacable. I think that I initially maybe positioned the ships too far apart, but it's, it's tricky. When Implacable jumps forward, I just think that by the time it's taken its turn in round 2, it is way too far forward.
Yeah. But you were only going like speed 2, right?
I shouldn't have been. I think I should have been going 1 with Implacable.
That's what I was going to say when I'm like looking back at this round 1. I'm like, Implacable is like, even based on where you put the jamming barrier, like Implacable should have been back a little bit more.
Like where my squadron ball is kind of where the front of Implacable should have been. Basically like not able to be shot or attacked by squadrons. And then Kenobi's taking hits and siphoning damage off to Implacable, which can't be hurt. And then eventually Implacable will come in like round 4, round 5, round 6. But like the fact that mid round 2, right? He's lost a ton of health to a bunch of fighters that he shouldn't have even been there. And I should never have moved him away from squadron protection. Like I just charged him in speed 2, and like not smart for me. And like you took huge advantage of it, right? Like you just had the fighters come in, they weren't contested, and you were just like rolling double hits on red dice, like you were getting paid to do it. And so Implacable basically dies here by, let's see,
That's like round 3, right?
The very first shot of round 4 is when he's dying.
Okay.
Right? Because he was effectively dead round 3, right? Which means he never was in range to help Obi-Wan. He never had like
a shot,
an opportunity to even do his implacable thing. I think he had no or one forward shot out of his battery. Like it was just like a disaster.
I think it was like a flak.
Yeah.
I think he flaked out the front.
Yeah. He flaked and traded himself. I mean, like on the one hand, he traded himself for almost 100 points of squadrons. Right.
Yeah.
But I think I could have used him more effectively. Let my squadrons eat your squadrons with flak support.
I'm just like so terrified of the V19 Jedi Ball with Plo and Lumi.
Yeah.
Because like if you had like the squadron commands to push it forward, like round 2, I don't know what I could have done, like gameplay wise.
I think that what I need to do against Dooku, and someone commented this, was basically like do 2 turns of squadron commands in a row. Turn 1, I take tokens, and then turn 2, I spend those tokens to clear any raid that you do, and then do my squadron command.
Yeah.
Because then that guarantees turn 2, I can activate the squadrons, get them into position, and then my ship moves up, but it's still protected by squadrons. As opposed to what I did, which was not be able to activate the squadrons. So then all of turn 2, Implacable is unprotected and getting flacked and blown to shit by your fucking fighters.
Yeah, I mean, those vultures, like when they get the double, that fucking hurts, dude.
Yeah, it's nuts. Or the double on the bombers, right? Like, that's crazy.
I love the bombers. Like multiple red bomber it feels so good to roll that dude.
God, can I say how good the dice box looks? Like, holy shit. It's so nice.
Really good.
Yeah. Cool editing. So
yeah, shout out to the editor.
Since I complained about Implacable and that's basically my mistakes in this game. I think the other mistake is maybe charging in with the consular too early and not keeping it back, because like his goal was to like heal friends.
Yeah, he was like really out in front.
He really ended up trading himself for like 4 damage.
Well, if you think about it, he kind of traded himself for the game because he bumped the Munificent.
Yeah.
And since he did that, I wasn't able to swoop around the back of the Obi-Wan flagship.
True.
And I think I would have done better if I could have avoided
That's
like
fair.
4 front arc shots.
That's fair. So jamming barrier. Now, I've been wanting to get jamming barrier to be an interesting objective for a fleet for a while, and this fleet was like really wanting you to pick jamming barrier, so I'm glad that you did. But between the dust clouds and the barrier, which I set up, kind of diagonally across the middle of the board, with some deliberate overlap between it and the dust cloud, it basically meant that your ships never really got good shots off, especially the way that we ended up where we were kind of just like ramming each other across the jamming barrier.
What a fucking nightmare, right, dude? Oh my god.
Yeah, and then eventually your frigate crosses the jamming barrier only in the front arc, so then I am able to pop off and just nut job all over it. But Obi-Wan basically traded against your entire, like 2 munificents it traded for with like one HP
really
remaining.
just smashed them.
One of them it just like smashed to death, and the other one it like was shooting the guns at. And like I was convinced that I lost because I had 1 HP, you had the hard cell and Grievous, and I was like, he just needs to shoot like a dice at me. I have nothing.
Yeah.
And then you were
couldn't even do that.
I can't shoot you because between jamming barrier and EWS, I actually get no dice in my battery.
Yeah. Oh my god. How tilting, dude. Can you believe how tilting that was?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where I'm sitting there across, I've got a full health hard cell against an acclimator with no shields.
Okay, that hard cell rammed multiple times, so it actually was not full health.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but yeah, that hard cell would have beaten that acclimator, right? If there was no jamming barrier there.
Like the hard cell wins that fight.
Yeah.
every day, and it just couldn't shoot anything.
Yeah. This game was like jamming barrier was worth like 150 points in this game.
It was incredibly good. I think it's one of the better, I don't know, weak objectives because of how good it is to put down the jamming barrier after deployment.
It's so good.
I never thought that would be so critical.
Yeah.
And like the whole game, I didn't want to cross the jamming barrier because then I would get your full armament right in my face, which ended up happening. But
yeah,
then it was awful.
I thought my setup was really good. One was like separatists are red dice ships, so jamming barrier is really good against them. And then also my positioning was basically saying like, if you cross jamming barrier, I have my full complement of dice. Do you want to do that? And like your answer was kind of not really. But even if you had, it was so far back that you would have had to, like, I think they were going full speed and just couldn't get there, right?
Yeah, it's not like Munificence. Like they go speed too, and that's it.
Yeah. So like they at maximum speed, the way I positioned the jamming barrier, you were always going to ram me and never cross it.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
That with the single dust field, because I mean I put the other one on the side of the board, but
yeah, dust field
it's
helps
a big
lot.
field of depleted attacks, and especially with the jamming barrier and the EWS.
Yeah,
it's like 4 dice goes down to 1 dice, and then you salvo me, and I'm like,
what are we doing here?
Can you stop?
Yeah. Enjoy your 1 dice attack, right?
Yeah, it was really fucking crazy. And you clutched it out at the end with the veteran gunners.
Ooh, I know.
To get the double accuracy, to where I activated and I did the Wat Tambor Battle Droid Reserve scoop, where I just picked up like 5 damage cards.
So depressing
and moved
when that
some
happens,
shields.
by the way.
Yeah. It's such an ultimate power move that it's my favorite thing. And so I had 2 shields on the front, no damage cards, and you just roll 100 dice, get 1 accuracy, and then you have veteran gunners spend the accuracy, because that's how the timing works on that. Yep. So you got an accuracy, and you reroll all your dice and kill me for perfect damage, because you get another accuracy. So I have no brace, no redirect, and I just take 7 damage and die immediately.
Yeah, I'm looking at that part right now at like an hour and 24 minutes.
If you want to talk about Wat Tambor being demoralizing, that's some cold-blooded shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, double accuracy. Now, if I hadn't killed it, I probably would have gotten the job done with the fighters.
Probably.
But yeah.
Well, I don't know, because I still have shields.
Oh god, you had honestly the second like accuracy to lock down the redirect was wild.
Yeah, because I had 3 shields on the side, dude. It was insane.
Oh gosh, the salty pickup. Yeah, I don't know if I could have done it, but yeah, it was a very close game. I thought I was dead for most of it. I couldn't believe when you picked up the first one, I was like, wait, what just what just happened?
Well, because you rammed, I rammed, you rammed, I rammed. That's 4 fucking damage, dude. And I think I already rammed it before with the hard sell, and then you just had to do like put 1 damage on hull, and it was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good game. Really fun match.
I really like the Munificence, though.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
They're really awesome.
And using like just Grievous to like have a more widespread squadron, setup, where I can like.
You mean with relay?
I'll activate 2 over there with the relay, and then I'll activate 2 that are close to me, and I get all 4 of mine. Do the same with the other Munificent, and I don't really have to worry too much about positioning everything in range. Because I can, like, if Grievous is nearby, I can pretty much get everything.
Right.
Really great. I think he's one of the better squadrons. But man, Vultures die to flak so fucking easily. And the flak and the counter, like, dude, the V19 ball.
It's so gnarly.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's so gnarly. I'm really a big fan of Lumi Plo and some V19s. You know, I can take or leave Axe at the moment, but yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Axe isn't worth the points.
Oh,
Maybe just make him a generic and add some other upgrades. But yeah, I mean, you're kind of flushed out with upgrades on this list anyway. So I
yeah,
don't know what you
I'm
would.
in the process of like thinning. You know.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy though. That was an awesome game.
And I'm at 391, and like Axe is 5 points more than a regular guy. Right, so if I
Yeah,
cut him and add a regular guy, like now I'm at 386. I'd obviously drop redundant shields. I think Implacable's
yeah.
got to
I think you
go.
just forgot about that for like 4 turns.
Yeah, I don't know if Gunnery Teams is super good on an acclimator, but
I
I
don't
think
think
with
so either.
Swivel Mount, it seems okay, right? Because you're getting that extra dice twice.
Yeah,
I'll leave it for now.
I don't know if it's better than like Ordnance Experts because you've
Right,
got the black, you
right.
concentrate another black, you reroll them, boom.
Mm, that's true. And
It's
always
hard.
3 points cheaper.
I mean, I know the weird feeling that you've got because they've got such a large front arc,
Yeah.
but I mean,
What do you
oh,
think about LTT instead of Spinal on an acclimator? Like, is LTT just better?
LTT's so fucking good, dude.
Now I'm down to
It's one of the best.
369.
Yeah,
I can't even add a ship. You know, it's like I'm at a weird points cost right now.
yeah.
I guess the answer is more squads for UnKenobi-able.
I don't know if that's the answer, but
I don't know if I need LTT and veteran gunners. I think I would go clone gunners with LTT, right?
yeah.
Because like LTT already gives me like a reroll.
Well, whichever one you want LTT on, I don't know. I would maybe make that the back one. Like maybe put that on Implacable.
And put Swivel Mount on Obi-Wan?
Maybe because it'll be further away, so it'll get more benefit from.
Oh, no, Obi-Wan's going to
Red
be
dice.
closer up, right?
Yeah,
But the idea is the farther away one gets Swivel Mount so that it gets the blacks also.
yeah. That's weird.
Maybe I'd take
Weird.
an ECM off of Implacable because it's farther away. It doesn't need it.
Yeah, put ECM on Obi.
Or well, then I don't get early warning.
Oh man.
So now I'm down to 361, and I could add another armed cruiser, a naked one.
I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah, well, I'll keep thinking about it. But I think I'm gonna do Nivu to B list next time.
Yeah.
And,
Nivu to be seems like the best title for Republic right now.
yeah, for sure. Anyway, you want to move on to card changes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about these card changes.
All right, so we'll go through the commanders first, and we'll talk about the changes to each card and whether they're still booty, no longer booty, or extra booty.
Yeah.
So Constantine's first.
Yeah, Admiral Constantine.
At the start of each status phase, you can choose any number of enemy ships at distance 1 to 5 of at least 2 friendly non-flotilla ships. God, one of which must be of medium or larger size class. For each chosen ship, you may discard a nav token from it, or increase or decrease its speed by 1 to a minimum of 23 points. Do you know what changed on this guy?
Yeah. Before it was only medium or large ships. Like you couldn't use small ships to activate Constantine. And that's they can discard a token from it. I don't think that you could do that before.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, it's basically he activates on small ships as well now, but you need like at least one medium and then other small ships. Which I mean makes him better. You know?
Yeah.
And they don't get to choose to discard a token. You can decide whether or not you want that token discarded, which is pretty good. This is I mean, it's better, but the problem with Constantine is it comes with that, like, asshole tax. Where it's like, if you run him, I mean, he's not amazing. I mean, I would go far to say he's not good.
Right.
But I mean, I've run lists with a medium, like, VSD and a bunch of small ships, and that list was pretty good. I don't know if Constantine would make that list better by being in there, but I mean, using Constantine and his ability to, like, maximum effect, where your opponent just can't move any of his ships. Like, if you've got an interdictor with the Gravwell, and then Constantine, and you reduce their speed to 1, and then Gravwell them down to 0, or Grav Projector, whatever it's called, and they just don't get to move for the whole game, like, you're just kind of an asshole. Like, because it's not going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
I would say that Constantine is better than he was.
Hey, that's
because,
good.
you know, I mean, that's good. I think he's a lame commander, though.
Okay.
I give him a D.
D. Good.
D out of 5.
Ozzel. During each friendly ship's determined course step, it may change its speed by 1, 20 points. Thoughts?
Ozzel is much better. He's actually, like, I would say twice as good as he was before. Yeah, because before he was same cost. When a friendly ship resolves a nav command, it can change its speed by an additional 1.
Yeah.
So if you have a nav command, he still works. Like, you can change your speed by 2.
Right.
Because those commands would stack. But now you don't even need a nav. It's just anytime you want, change your speed by 1.
Right.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, it seems really good.
He's like a B for me.
And pretty cheap, right? So if you're not really worried about, like, what commander you have.
One of the cheaper commanders, yeah. I don't know how he stacks up against, like, Ramadi as far as cheapness goes. Because Ramadi is also 20 points. And his ability is fucking busted.
Yeah.
But I think Ozzel's great. Yeah.
Tag. After deploying
Tag. Yeah.
After deploying fleets, place 2 non-consecutive round tokens on this card. At the start of the ship phase, during each round, matching one of those tokens, each friendly ship may recover one of its discarded defense tokens for 25 points. Thoughts?
He's kind of analogous to Garm from the Rebels, where he's got, I mean, before it was like round 3 and round 5.
Yeah.
It was locked in. Now that you can choose, obviously he's better.
Yeah.
For sure. How much better he is, I don't know. I don't think it's so amazing. The problem with Tag before is, like, start of round 3 is when you start really taking damage and losing defense tokens.
Right. It seems like round 4 and 5 would be really good.
Yes, but it can't be consecutive.
So it'd be
So you can only do 4 and 6.
Yeah.
Which, at the 6th round, your defense tokens aren't really worth anything because you don't have much health anymore. But being versatile like this, depending on the objective that you've got, maybe you have fleet ambush, you can make it round 2 and 4 and just spend your defense tokens like they're going out of style because you're going to get one of them back.
Right.
Don't know how good he is, though. I mean, I'd have to play around with him, but I don't know. Getting defense tokens back doesn't really do it for me. As far as a commander goes, I don't think he does enough to satisfy my craving for unlimited power.
Right.
He's really defensive, you know?
Yeah.
But he's for sure better than he was. I give him a C. A C for, I'm not sure how capable he is, but it's an interesting ability and it's much better with the versatility of being able to choose non-consecutive round tokens. I mean, hell, you can even choose, like, round 2 and 5. It doesn't have to be locked in the waiting around, you know?
Right. All right, next up we've got Grand Moff Tarkin. At the start of each ship phase, you may choose a command. Each friendly ship gains a token matching that command, 28 points.
Oh my god, Grand Moff Tarkin went on a fucking diet. Do you see how slim he is now?
Yeah, 28.
Down 10 points from 38.
Way better.
Way better.
Is it good enough to play?
I don't know. I don't think I would play Grand Moff Tarkin. I don't really have a list in mind that can use his ability. Really? Like, alright, I get 1 command token each turn
Per ship.
per ship. It's pretty good. I don't think it's incredible. I mean, you get to choose, but I mean, him being 10 points cheaper is amazing.
It is.
And I think he's useful. I think with all of the upgrade cards that rely on tokens to recover, I think that makes him better. And with Dooku and Raid, I mean, you can just choose whatever token you got rated on and just clear it and not even have to worry about it for your whole fleet.
Right.
That's fucking amazing.
Right. Yeah, it seems good.
It does seem good. I want like more things for him to be used off of, though, like more cards that want you to spend tokens and get benefit from his ability. But right now I can't really think of much that makes him seem so incredible.
Right.
Maybe I'll think of something. I mean, he's for sure playable now. Before, like, once Vader came out, like, Tarkin was in the bin. There's no reason to run him for the entirety of the game. And I mean, if you're one of those people that made a list with Tarkin, you thought it was good, like, that's great. But any other list with any other commander would be better because they weren't nearly 40 fucking points. That's just the truth.
Right. Next up, we've got Raddus, Admiral Raddus. Before deploying fleets, you may set aside one other friendly ship with a command value of 3 or less. At the start of any round, you may deploy that ship at distance 1 to 2 of you. That ship cannot be deployed overlapping squadrons and can't be the first ship to activate that round. 26 points. Oh, they nerfed him.
They did nerf him.
The trouble with Raddus now is that the enemy knows exactly which ship it can deploy out of, which on the one hand is good because it was kind of annoying to deal with Raddus. As the opponent, you were kind of like, well, Liberty or Profundity could literally pop in anywhere if the opponent plays their cards right. Like I remember running like a couple of flotillas and a CR90, all over the map
and that was all you had on the table,
as fast as possible, and you would have no idea where the scary ship was going to land up your ass and ruin your day. Like it kind of sucks. It's still good. It's still playable. It's just not as difficult to deal with.
I think you need like a different strategy.
Yeah, for sure.
To run Raddus, like you can't have a CR90 with Raddus on it anymore. Like that's dangerous.
Yeah, they'll just kill it.
They'll just fucking kill it. Maybe they have a bid and they take first and they just run up on you.
Yeah,
and then you get popped.
Mm-hmm.
I think more along the lines of you'll need like an MC80 with Raddus on it, and then you Raddus in an MC75.
Right.
Or maybe like a smaller ship, like an MC30. You can't do the big bomb anymore. You can't get into a perfect position.
Right.
But I mean, it's still, and it's distance 1 to 2 of you now, so you've got a bigger range band to deploy at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before it was only distance 1, right? So yeah, I mean,
I don't remember if
better.
it was 1 or 1 to 2. Maybe
I'm pretty sure it was only at distance 1.
Yeah, maybe.
Now that it's 2, I mean that's pretty fucking big.
Yeah. He's good. He's fine. Sato. Love my boy Sato. Same thing, cheaper. Now it's 27 points. And Sato is great. Check out my Fleet of Justice videos to see some cool Sato play. Love him. We'll continue to play him in the future. Maybe my favorite Rebel commander.
Sato's great. He's amazing. I mean,
yeah.
He got cheaper, so he's better.
Yep.
What do you rate Sato?
I love him. I mean, like for me, he's an A. Just because I really like the fleet I built with him, like scout frigates rolling black, like APTs at long range with ordnance expert rerolls. Like it's really fun.
It's the dream.
Yeah, it's so fun. Now, I don't come across his weakness super often, which is like a big ball of enemy aces.
Yeah.
because it can be tough when that happens. But yeah, he's really fun.
Yeah, I would give him like a low B or a high C before, but now I think he's significantly better.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite A though, because of that hard counter against like heavy squadrons.
Next up, we've got Garm. After deploying fleets, place 2 non-consecutive round tokens on this card. At the start of the ship phase, you can gain a number of command tokens equal to its command value on every ship for 25 points. What are your thoughts on Garm? Because it used to be fixed timing. Now it's
He was the same as
tag.
It was like 3 and 5, right?
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you make it 2 and 4, seems amazing.
Yeah.
Like if you've got fleet commands, charge up your fleet commands. I mean, he seems really, really good now. Being able to pick the rounds that you get to do it on is way better. Way better. He's super flexible. I mean, if you've got cards that have costs, you can, kind of figure out when you want them to recharge, bank some tokens, and then when Garm comes by on round 4, you can set them all up again. I think the timing is during the ship phase that you get them, so you'll probably have to do it the round before, like round 3.
Right.
And then when it comes to refresh them, you can. But
he's better.
I think he's great.
I think he's also better because of the extra emphasis on tokens in general. Refreshing ECM and that kind of stuff. Like, yeah. I could see myself playing him.
He seems much better now.
Yeah.
Like before he was like a D or an F.
Yeah. I agree.
Now he's like a C, I think. I still don't think he's incredibly amazing. He's not like fucking Riken or anything, but he seems really good.
Speaking of Riken, once per round, when a friendly ship or a friendly unique squadron is destroyed, it remains in the play area and treated as if it was not destroyed until the end of the status phase. 34 points. My boy's been hit with the nerf bat many times over the years. I think he's still really good.
I think he's still one of the best commanders.
Yeah, keeping a ship alive for the rest of the turn is so crazy.
Did he get more expensive?
I think so.
By like a couple points. I still think he's worth every point.
Yep. Very good.
A. He's an A, for sure.
Still an A.
Unstoppable. Still an A. He's never not been an A.
That's true. Leia, when a friendly ship resolves a command by spending a command dial, if it has not resolved another command this round, it may resolve that command as if it also spent a matching command token. If it does, that ship cannot resolve additional commands this round. 28 points.
So really nothing changed too much with her. She just got
cheaper.
What was it? Cheaper by 10 points,
yeah.
I think?
10 points cheaper.
Why was she ever looking nearly 30 points or 40 points?
Yeah, I don't know.
God damn.
I don't know. Leia is still not that good, I don't think.
Yeah?
I could be totally wrong here, but like
I was playing with someone who ran Leia.
Mm-hmm.
I think the new version of Leia. And the problem I found with Leia is you can only resolve the command as if you spent a matching command token. You don't actually get a token.
Right.
Which is like super crippling.
Right. So you like when you squadron command, you get +1 squadron. When you're engineering, you get the extra engineering points. When you nav, like you can go up by 2 or down by 2. When you concentrate, like you get the reroll every time, right? But you can't put a token on your ship to refresh something. You can't save it for later. Like it just
you can't use multiple. Like you can't use her ability and then another token.
Right.
Like you can't do that. So I don't really know because it ends up like your ships have no tokens and they like are you using these phantom tokens the whole time?
Yeah, Leia's fine if like you just like I just want what my fleet is doing like to be more powerful and like yeah she's going to make your shots a little more powerful, she's going to make your navigation a little more powerful, etc., but where's the flavor? Where's the flavor? This is just she's a boring card too compared to my girl Mon Mothma who got a stealth buff, right? Like I didn't think she was getting better. When a friendly ship resolves the evade token effect, it can cancel 1 die at medium or reroll 1 additional die at close range or distance 1. But since evade got buffed, Mon Mothma got buffed. right?
Yeah.
So, oh my god, like, what? So what?
She seems crazy good now, dude.
Right, because evade token ships just got better. So like you're just like looking at your like foresight now as an unkillable god, right? You're looking at Jaina's light as like fears no man, you know?
Yeah.
Your double evade
that's-
token ships are so amazing because, you know, they're small bases typically. Even the freaking assault frigate's got one, but he's not a small base, but small bases are super cool because like, yeah, discard the token to cancel 3 dice on foresight. What? Right?
That's pretty. Oh, it's pretty awful.
And like Amon Mothma CR90 can discard and evade to cancel 2 dice at medium range. Because, you know, if it's getting shot at by a larger base ship, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to shove a bunch of like MC30s down your throat because, you know, even against red dice ships, like XI7 red dice ships, like they're not as scary because are you going to spend 2 accuracies to lock down both of my evades? Like okay, but you have to first get 2 accuracies. And like if you got 2 accuracies, your shot doesn't have as much oomph behind it anymore. You know, like you roll 6 dice, right? 2 accuracies means now you have 4 damage. Like, okay, like that actually doesn't
kill a small
that
ship.
doesn't get through to my hull on my MC30, right? Like it's fine.
Yeah, and didn't she get cheaper as well?
I think she might have gotten a little bit cheaper. Yeah, I want to run a Mon Mothma fleet. I don't think I have since the change, but I'm going to soon. Maybe the first time I get back on Rebels.
It just seems incredible with these new evade changes. Because Mon Mothma had that issue with she's a commander based all around the evade token, but if you get close, then you not only negate the defense token, but also the commander's effect.
Yeah, and like it also says or distance 1, so like squadrons. Oh, but barely any squadrons have evade except for the Republic, right? I don't think there's any evade token squadrons. Oh, but it's
wait, what are you talking about?
Oh no,
it's only for friendly ship.
Oh, but it's against squadrons. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So when squadrons roll up on you, you can make them reroll 2 dice.
Yeah.
How many squadrons are even rolling 2 dice? You know, like decimators.
I don't know. That would be really useful against DBS with the double.
True. Reroll those doubles. Get shit on.
Yeah.
Mon Mothma, I think, is a solid B plus.
Really? You talked her up so much and you only give her a B plus?
So the reason the only reason is because she can't work with half the Rebel fleet that doesn't have evade tokens, right? Like,
I mean, that's true.
No MC80s.
A lot of commanders don't synchronize with a lot of ships,
Starhawk, but it's not even not synchronized. It's like does nothing for them, right?
That's true. Yeah, like if you have a MC80 and you have Mon Mothma, it like doesn't do anything for that ship.
Also, your entire squadron ball doesn't interact with her at all. Like,
I don't think you take many squadrons with her at all. I think
you take all ships.
You lucky stars.
That's right. You think you're lucky stars that you can evade the squadron shots.
Yeah.
We got some officers, starting with Brunson, while defending at 1 to 2.
Dude, not very many officers got changed at all.
Literally, Brunson is the only surviving officer that has a change. While defending at distance 1 to 2 of an obstacle, during the spend defense token steps, you may exhaust this card to choose and cancel 1 attack die, 9 points. Did this get nerfed?
It did.
More expensive?
Well, I mean, nerfed. 4 more points more expensive.
We got smacked.
They got smacked with points.
Canceling a die was so good. Yeah.
It's so good, dude.
I think that they underestimated how frequently you could be at distance 1 to 2 of an obstacle with this shit.
Yeah.
It's like all the time.
Well, you just measure it out to where
you are.
The whole midfield, no matter where you are, you're within distance 1 to 2.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty easy to do.
Right, exactly.
And then Brunson's always on.
And then Brunson's card basically said, you may once per turn cancel an attack die, right? And it's like, okay, that's not 4 points.
And then you put it on an interdictor. The interdictor refreshes Brunson, so you get to do it twice a turn.
Yeah.
And then you're just never doing enough damage.
Yeah. So the 3 officers, Strategic Advisor, Governor Price, and Bail Organa that interacted with activations were banned and not replaced in 1.5. I'm just going to say shortly here that I feel like the pass token does not make up for the fact that these officers existed, specifically Strategic Advisor. It seems really like the pass token in the games that I've played has been marginally relevant or did not exist at all. And I feel like 2-ship lists are less viable because Strategic Advisor doesn't exist and the pass token is not enough to help.
Well, I mean, what 2-ship lists are you talking about?
Like 2 ISDs or
No, because the 2 ISD lists that I know have flotillas as well. They're 4 ships. There's no like just 2 ISD lists.
Because these cards don't exist, you can't fly 2 ISDs. That's my point. You can't fly 2 Starhawks. You can't fly an SSD and a flotilla because previously you had Strategic Advisor, right, as like an extra activation every single round. Now you have, let's say you have a 2-ship list going up a 4-ship list, or a 3-ship list going up against a 5-ship list, right?
Yeah.
If you're second player, you get 2 pass tokens. If you're first player, you only get 1. So for the whole game, you can delay 1 activation against someone with 2 more than you every round. And I know that activation order mostly matters for the approach, right? Once everything has a shot on everything, like it's less viable. But I still remember lots of situations where Strategic Advisor came in handy for keeping my ship from getting shot at, even on round 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I feel like they hyped up the pass token as being super relevant, and it made me feel like both sides were going to get some number of pass tokens, but the person with less ships would just get more of them. And really what it is one person sometimes gets 1 pass token or maybe 2. And
I mean, I agree. I feel like they're just trying to move away from cards that have to deal with activation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's so strong.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, at this point, it's just like, if you want another activation, put a flotilla on your list.
Right.
And you'll get your activation. That's the only way you're going to have it.
Right. I mean, like Strategic Advisor for 4 points basically deleted the officer slot from most ships, so I'm glad he's gone.
Especially for large ships. It was a nightmare to think of anything.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess I just wish the passing was a little bit more, they were more generous with the tokens. Like maybe everyone gets 3, and then if you're down by 2 activations, you get 2 more or something like that.
That's quite a lot.
Well, I mean, like
I would say everyone gets 1. Second player gets an extra 1, and then if they're at a disadvantage, they get additional ones.
That's nice. Yeah, just the baseline is 0, which seems odd to me.
Yeah.
Like first player with 3 ships against second player with 4 ships, there are none. Seems
it's like
okay, I just always will act like it'll go, first, second, first, second, first, second, second. You see that? That's the problem for me.
Yeah.
Is that second player gets 2 activations after first for the entire game with nothing. But obviously first player has first player advantage, but that's supposed to be nullified mostly by the objective. But,
not by activation.
Whatever. It is what it is. I run lots of ships anyway, so. Engine text, nav. After you execute a maneuver, you may exhaust this card to execute a 1 speed maneuver. After you execute a maneuver, if you overlap a ship, exhaust this card. 8 points. So it additionally
amazing changes.
It additionally exhausts if you ram a ship, even if you don't want to exhaust it. Right?
Yeah.
So if you
engine text works after your maneuver. So if during your maneuver you overlap a ship, you can't then engine text.
Sad for the Geralt's Honor.
Yeah, the double ramming. That is no longer in business.
Sad but good, I think.
And it's a tap card now. I don't think it exhausted before. So, I mean, if you've got some kind of upgrade card that can tap opponents.
Oh, you can turn it off.
You can turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's a great change to engine text because double ramming is not I don't think it's a fun strategy to build towards. It's kind of shitty. Like 2 damage is a lot, dude.
Yeah,
To be able to shoot someone and then force 2 damage.
yeah, I agree. Weapons teams. Gunnery is concentrate fire. The next attack you perform. This activation can be performed from this hull zone. Each of your hull zones cannot target the same ship or squadron more than once during your activation. 7 points. Thoughts on gunnery team?
So, finally, there's something that's done about gunnery teams.
Yeah.
Gunnery teams is the best example of cards I kind of dislike, where they're just always on and always amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind if the card is always on, but it can't also be always amazing.
Right.
Because, I mean, for years of playing this game, like, that icon on gunnery teams, that's what I called the weapons team slot. The gunnery team slot.
Yeah.
Because it was so goddamn good, it would go on every ship.
Yeah.
Now you need to have the right command. You have to use that command on your first shot.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have concentrate fire, command dial,
and save it for the second shot.
Ship and save it for the second. You can't do that. And everything else is basically unchanged.
Right.
So now, if I want to load up on like an ISD's front hull zone, I mean, if I've got a GR75 and I can sneak it in there with slicer tools, I can fucking shut down gunnery teams.
Amazing.
Can you believe that? If that happened to you,
the ISD player would be triggered.
Triggered as fuck, dude. Like, what do you do? And then if you have Tarkin, you can get concentrate fire token and then still use gunnery teams.
Right.
You know, there's some fucking play now.
There's also that officer that lets you switch. I mean, there's multiple officers, right, where you can change your dial to. Which one's the one that lets you change it to a concentrate?
The
tactical expert. Right, that's like the undo slicer tools. Get me my gunnery teams back.
Yeah. There's lots of things that you can do to guarantee gunnery teams, but I mean, now you need a little bit more work. You need to pay attention to what's on the field.
Yep.
Gunnery teams just doesn't always work for you.
Right. Which is
and
great.
It also nerfs the Superstar Destroyer, so you can't get 3 shots out of the same hull zone.
Right.
Which was obnoxious.
Yep, it was.
I mean, it's perfect the way it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I like just any card that was always like, just do this thing and always do this thing. I'm glad that they're getting changed to now you need the proper command. And that's something I've noticed in the games that we've been playing in Armada 1.5. Like, whoever has the right commands on their command dials or sets up their tokens properly, I mean, they're the ones who are winning more.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not the ones that come with, like, you know, double ISD amazing list.
Next is Ordnance Experts. This kind of falls in that category of always on, always amazing. While attacking, you may reroll up to 2 black dice for 4 points instead of you may reroll all your black dice. I'm actually surprised this one wasn't a tap and only do once per turn. But I'm happy because I love Ordnance Experts, and it's still pretty freaking
I love Ordnance
good.
Experts too. Yeah, it's still pretty freaking good now, but like less so amazingly powerful that you can just guarantee a shitload of damage.
Right.
Like if you got 7 blacks and they're all like hit, you pick up all 7 of those blacks and you roll them back for hit crits.
Right.
You pick them all up every time.
Yeah.
Now it's only 2.
Right.
Which is good. I mean, if you've got a concentrate fire token, you can reroll 3.
It's basically its potency is unchanged for ships like the MC-30, like the Geralt's Honor, you know, even things like the new consulars and the acclimators, right? Like it's basically the same. You have 2 or 3 black dice, like okay, you're rerolling 2 of them, right? Like that's basically a wash, right? Like nothing different. It's for ships where you could get like 5 black dice in a shot that like
and just do an obscene amount of damage and just delete a ship.
Right.
It's basically just bringing it down to where you just can't delete a ship guaranteed with a shitload of black dice. And I also like how it says, you know, up to 2 black dice while attacking. Hasn't changed the wording on that very much. And I like that because double black flak is still viable. Like you can still get guaranteed like hit.
Yeah, dude. It's really good for double black flak.
Really like it. Really like it. Amazing card still. Still at 4 points. I think I think this is like a better version of the previous card. I mean, obviously it's weaker, but it's better gameplay wise and
Right.
balance wise. You know.
Right. Next is defensive retrofits. Let's look at ECM. While defending, you may exhaust this card to spend a defense token that your opponent targeted with an accuracy result. 7 points. The difference now is that it taps, and you need to spend an engineering token to get it back.
Well, ECMs has gone through a lot of changes over the years. I don't think it always tapped. I think they added the exhaust after a while.
They did. It started as just always on.
Always on. That's another one of those things when the card is always on, it's always amazing, it's too strong. Now it taps and you have to resupply it with an engineering token.
Right.
Again, this is another one of those amazing cards that just show how much extra design space they're exploring. I mean, you can have ships with ion cannons that tap upgrade cards, like a Blue Dice Raider with disposable capacitors. You know, you hit that home one, you turn off their ECM, and then you smash them in the face. There you go. You won the game.
Right.
What do you think about this change?
I love ECM the way that they have it now. It's so great.
I mean, and now you have, like, you can't just use it every single turn no matter what. Now you need a fucking engineering token to refresh it at the start of the round.
Yeah.
So amazing.
So good. Next, we have some ordnance changes. ACM and APT basically got the once per turn tap and refresh next turn mechanic. What are your thoughts on this? And ACM's cheaper now, only 5 points.
ACM is cheaper now, and APT is cheaper now as well.
Because APT was, what, 5 before?
It was 5, yeah.
So it dropped by 1. ACM was 7, dropped by 2.
I mean, the way they work isn't really different. It's just that they tap now.
Yep.
Which is more fair, I guess. These are the ones where I'm like, God damn. I loved rolling demo up and getting like 2 face-up damage cards. Like demo rolls up, rolls 4 blacks. After he moves, you get a face-up. Then I double arc you at the start of the next round, another face-up, another face-up.
Yeah.
Nothing survives that, dude.
Well, that's the problem. Right? The problem was like multiple shots of APT with ordnance experts. You were just like dealing so much damage, and it was only 5.
Demo could roll up to any ship.
Yeah.
I think except the Starhawk with Krista. And just delete it.
Yep.
You just delay long enough and then smash. They're dead.
Triple tap it, right?
Assault concussion missiles is, I think,
like,
cheap enough to be really useful now.
Like demo with APT could go last, shoot, get 1 extra damage from APT, and then with a double arc next turn, like for a total of like 3 damage extra just from the crits that you're getting on top of all the damage you're actually rolling dice for. Like, it was just so good. And now it was like 1 per turn. You know, you get 1 face-up damage card to the defender per turn per APT that shot like ship that you have. You know, like you can't just like keep fucking doing it.
And again, this is another one of those things where they refresh at the start of the round. If you don't want to deal with APTs, bring that fucking ion cannon and shut that shit down.
I know, that's gonna be so crazy. I need the Republic
to get cards
some
that shut stuff down. You know.
Yeah. I
want like a fleet support that you spend like some kind of token, like an engineering token, and you just tap one of their cards. You know.
I am ready for the Republic to have an ion cannon upgrade, so I can start putting those in, because I do want to start shutting some shit down. ACM getting cheaper and them both refreshing, so they can only be done once per turn. I've actually been bringing ACM over APT because its peak damage output is actually higher.
Yes.
If you,
you
know, first, you know, maybe, you know, like let's say you got an acclimator with swivel mount batteries, right, and ordnance experts, and you concentrate fire, right? So you're rolling your 2 blacks at long range and re-rolling them. You're probably going to get this to proc. And you're at long range, so now they've lost 2 shields. Then next turn, maybe they lose another 2 shields. Now the third turn, the shields are gone, and now you're doing 2 damage extra when this goes off, as opposed to 1 from APT, right? Like, it's really good.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, long range APT, where red dice range, here's a face-up card.
It's amazing.
Like, I agree with you that ACM, like, I consider taking that in lists now.
Yeah.
Before it was just like too expensive for like what it did.
And it was competing with
in
APT.
no way even close to APT as being good.
Yeah.
And now it's like a real decision.
Yeah.
I really like the way that these have turned out.
And with the evade improvements, the long range blacks are harder to pull off. Because like your opponent can cancel 2 at long range sometimes, or they can cancel.
Yeah, but not a lot of ships have evades.
That's true. But for the ones that do,
like
it's something.
If you're going up
in.
against a fucking ISD and you get APT at long range and it says deplete your fucking shields on your highest hull zone, like
boom. That's a 5.
Boom.
That's a 5 damage dice right there, right?
Yeah.
It's actually a 7 damage die because of the 2 damage actually printed on the die.
And then whatever damage goes through, along with the rest of your fucking dice. It's like incredible.
So good. External rack sadness, twice the cost. It went from 2 to 4 points. While attacking at close range, you may discard this card.
No, it went up by 1. It was 1. It was 3
Oh,
points,
I thought it was
dude.
2. Oh, never mind then.
No.
1 point more. A little sad. A little more expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's trying to avoid like external rack spam.
Yeah, which is great. Because nobody wants like 6 little shits with external racks on them.
But now with the change, it kind of puts a stopper on just your first shot always using external racks. Because if you roll your 2 black dice from your hammerhead and they're both blank, maybe just leave external racks and re-roll those.
Right.
Because you're not going to be able to re-roll the external racks ones.
Right.
And maybe use them on your other shot.
Fair. Good card.
I think external racks is weaker,
obviously,
for the change to ordnance experts, but still a good card. I don't think it deserves a 1 point increase, though. I don't know.
I think it was just for the spam thing, like you were saying.
Yeah, just bring less of them.
Yeah.
In lists, like lists that would have like 4 of them. It's obnoxious.
Leading shots nerfed. While attacking, you may spend 1 blue die to reroll any number of dice in your attack pool. 6 points. Was this 4 before? Yeah,
it was 4 before. Yeah,
it deserved to be 6, and I think if it was 8, it would still be great.
I agree. I think 6 is like a reasonable amount. 8 might be kind of pushing it because I saw it at 6. Oh no!
Oh no! But it was just so good that you wouldn't.
It was just so good.
Remember when we talked about the ion cans? You would just take nothing else because this is so good, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's so good.
H9s, 8 points. While attacking, you may change 1 die face with a hit or crit to an accuracy. I think they realized how good this was and bumped up the price, right?
No, they just changed it to a modification.
Oh, it's still 8 modification. Yeah, interesting.
It really, because H9, and we'll get to the next one, quad turbo laser cannons, now they're both modifications.
Yeah.
Because you could change a hit to an accuracy and then add an extra accuracy with quad turbo laser cannons on Simoons.
Because it had double turbo laser slot, now you can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same with SSD could also do that. But now they're both
Liberty could do that too, because it was double turbo laser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can't do that shit anymore.
That's good though, right? Like,
which quad turbo laser cannons, I don't think you should ever run now. I think it's dog shit now.
They should have dropped the price of QTCs if they were gonna break that effect.
It's too expensive now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a very strong ability. Like getting another accuracy is amazing, but
now you have to actually get that accuracy legitimately. It's hard.
Yeah.
All right, XI7 change again. While attacking, if the defender spends a redirect token, it cannot suffer more than 1 damage on each hull zone other than the defending hull zone when it resolves the redirect. So basically what they're saying here is advanced projectors and foresight, I believe. Like you can put 1 here and 1 over there. You just can't shuffle all of it over, which is great. This is a more reasonable change rather than XI7 hard countering all defensive upgrades.
Well, advanced projectors would just never have been run. It was never run because of XI7.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Push it out of the meta.
Yeah, I like this change. It at least gives you something if you take advanced projectors.
Slicer tools. This card begins the game exhausted. Motherfucker. After you execute a maneuver, you may exhaust this card to choose an enemy ship at 1 to 3. You may choose a new command on its top dial, and it takes an engineering token to refresh it. 7 points. What the hell?
What the hell?
They don't want you messing with people's command dials anymore. They're making this so difficult.
It does seem really difficult.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's so difficult. I've been playing with a lot of some of the other officers, because, I mean, separatists are kind of strapped for officers.
Yeah.
I mean, take Slicer Tools, take Veteran Captain. There you go, you have 2 Slicer Tools.
How's that?
Well, round 1, you get a token.
Okay.
You know? And then round 2, you untap Slicer Tools. You Slicer Tools. Well, yeah, you spend the token, then you Veteran Captain for another engineering token.
Yeah.
Then you go in and Slicer Tools on turn 2. At the start of round 3, you spend that token to untap Slicer Tools again. Then you Slicer Tools again on round 3. Then your GR75 step.
Okay. We got some title changes too. Demolisher. During your
Oh, you don't want to talk about that shit at all. You hate that.
I hate it. During your attack step, you can perform only 1 attack. You can perform one of your attacks after you execute your first maneuver during your activation. 10 points. They said demo cannot engine text and then shoot.
I mean, that was already errated.
Oh, they said you can only attack once per turn ever.
No, but we'll get there.
It says during your attack step, you can only perform 1 attack.
And then?
Oh. They
There we go.
must. Okay, so now I've learned.
Yeah.
Demolisher must perform its second attack after it executes its first maneuver.
Yes.
Right.
Which is not awful. It definitely makes it weirder to fly.
Yeah. It's like, you know the
But
thing
I
that
don't
you like
think
to do sometimes? You must do it always.
Exactly. Like, it's kind of weird, but, like, I run navs on these so many times, so I don't think it'll be that big of a problem.
Yeah.
It kind of fucks up with, like, the approach, because now I don't want to be, like, double arced. I just kind of want 1 arc and then turn and get the other arc.
Right.
It'll make Flying Demolisher weirder,
it also
but I don't
screws
think it
with
reduces
the double tap at the beginning of the next turn.
Yeah, but I'll nav again, and it doesn't matter that much.
Right.
It's not that important. It just makes the way you move Demolisher a bit stranger.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that guaranteed double arc. I don't think it reduces its effectiveness at all, though. It's still going to be a fucking nightmare.
Next up, we have Avenger. While attacking, you may exhaust this card. If you do, the defender cannot spend more than 1 exhausted defense token during this attack. 5 points with a tap. Wow, Avenger Nightmare is basically over, right? Like,
look how they massacred my boy.
Honestly, it needed to be massacred. It was the most obnoxious title in the game, and now it's more reasonable. At least I can still brace, right? Like,
yeah, I guess.
Right? Like,
the nightmare is over.
The nightmare is over. It's just a really good card now, and not the best in the world. It's still probably the best ISD title, but it's not the greatest title in the game.
I don't know about that. There's some. I've been liking the other ones a lot recently.
Oh my boy, Admonition. While defending, during the spend defense token step, you may discard a ready defense token to cancel 1 attack die 6 points. So they've made this worse.
Yeah.
Because you can't discard a exhausted defense token anymore.
Mm-hmm. You have to spend. Oh, it's discard a whole ready defense token.
Yeah.
Shit, that sucks.
Yeah. To cancel 1 attack die too is like, really. I think this puts Foresight clearly in the best MC30 title slot now.
Yeah.
Because of the evade changes, he's almost doing this just as well without having to discard the tokens. Sad for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Sad for Admo.
Sad for Admonition. It's a lot more reasonable. At least you can't run
Because like if I can,
maybe it's just so you can't run 2 unkillable MC30s.
okay, but like okay, so let's say that I have Admo, right, and I spend an evade token to make you re-roll a die. Can I then discard it to cancel another die?
No,
because it has to be
it has to
ready.
be ready.
Blood blows.
I
So
think
why-
though you can spend an evade and then discard another evade
there's 2.
token.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
You're not spending 2, you're discarding a different one for a different
Right.
effect.
Yeah, I think that's valid, but that hurts. That's painful.
It does hurt. But I mean, if it wasn't changed, like you could just have 2 unkillable MC30s.
Yeah.
And that's not.
But now that evade
not
works even at close range, it's like Admo used to be amazing because it's like, oh, I have something I can do with my evade tokens at close range. You know, I can cancel die with
now
them.
just think about it as at close range, instead of guessing for a reroll, you can guarantee cancel.
Yeah,
by discarding.
But is it better than like let's say that something's shooting at you that's bigger than you, which is most things. You can you can discard to reroll 2.
I don't know which one would be better. You got to call that
right.
I mean, like if they're rolling red dice against you, the normal evade is better. If they're rolling blacks, for sure, I would go for the cancel one.
Right. However, this is a 6-point title. It shouldn't be. Oh, I don't know if it's better than just having no title.
But also, like if they accuracy some tokens, like if I accuracy, both your evades,
right? Then I can cancel.
Or wait, can you discard it?
Yeah.
If it's accuracy.
Yeah. You can't spend, but you can discard. Anyway, we'll leave that for people to tell us in comments. Mon Cairn. Concentrate while attacking a ship. The defender cannot spend more than 1 defense token during this attack 6 points. So Mon Cairn basically wasn't now it's not an always on, always amazing. It's a you must concentrate to be amazing.
Yeah. Mon Cairn still seems amazing though.
Still really good.
Like, I mean, if you've got Mon Cairn, you got Kaken and Shallan, you've got gunnery teams, you just put the concentrate fires on.
My problem with Mon Cairn has always been that in most cases, your opponent's going to probably want to spend 1 defense token. On top of that, if you get an accuracy, like let's say that you're Mon Cairn shooting at something, you roll your 7 dice, right? You got 1 accuracy, most likely. Without Mon Cairn, you stop the brace, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Mon Cairn, you stop the brace. In both those scenarios, nothing has changed. They spend their redirect. Like, you see what I mean? Like,
wait, what are you talking about?
Okay, so let's say you have a MC80 and a Mon Cairn, 2 different ships. One has the title, one has nothing. They both shoot a front arc shot at a ship, and that ship has brace redirect salvo, like, I don't know, an acclimator.
Mm-hmm.
With Mon Cairn, I I roll 7 dice, right, with my MC80 Liberty. In 7 dice, I'm probably going to get an accuracy.
Yes.
With Mon Cairn, let's say the Mon Cairn ship is the one shooting. I spend the accuracy to stop the brace.
Okay.
The opposition can now redirect, right?
Okay.
He can't do anything else. Without Mon Cairn, I stop the brace with my accuracy, and he can redirect. Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but with Mon Cairn, you just re-roll the accuracy.
You don't use your accuracies with Mon Cairn, basically.
You just re-roll into double hits.
Right.
There you go.
There's a card that lets you change an accuracy to a crit or something, right?
Yeah, it's like some weird some like sensor team or something.
Is it a turbo laser?
I don't think it's a turbo laser. I think it's like weapons battery text. You can change 1 die to with an accuracy face to a face with a crit.
That's in the gunnery team slot?
Yeah, but I wouldn't take that over Kaken and Sholin.
I would take it on a Mon Cairn.
No, you got so much dice.
I know you need rerolls. I know.
You need.
I mean, you could just
man.
put leading shots in there, but yeah. Oh, leading shots! You would just take away the accuracy and reroll everything. Anyway, that's why I don't really like Monkaren that much, because it's basically like, if you don't get an accuracy on this ship with a shitload of dice, it's like, okay. Yavaris, Squadron Command. Each squadron you activate may choose to only attack during your activation. If it does while attacking, it may add 1 die to its attack pool of a color that's already in its attack pool, 5 points. Boom. Yavaris, nerf batted.
For sure. But I mean, it needed it. Like,
Yavaris got whacked into infinity. First of all, the Squadron Command requirement makes no sense, because you can't activate squadrons without activating a Squadron Command. You know?
That is true.
Like, okay, like,
true.
I know you wanted to unify everything, but like, you know that without that symbol there, nothing changes. So
Well, no, I mean, that's not true, because Hyperwave Signal Boost can activate squadrons without a Squadron Command. So there are
but
ways
they can't take
happen.
Hyperwave Signal Boost. That's step only.
Exactly, but the precedent is there that it could happen.
Okay, whatever. So basically it's saying, instead of squadrons shooting twice, they get to add a die if they don't move, right?
Yeah.
This is a massive nerf.
It is a massive nerf.
It's more dice in smaller numbers is significantly better than more dice in fewer numbers, even if the total number of dice is equivalent.
I agree.
Number one,
For sure.
because of Bomber Command Center, right? Things like Tor and Far Bomber Command Center giving you rerolls per shot. Also, in terms of how they interact with brace tokens, right? I'd rather have 1 die that you have to redirect, and then another die that your redirect is gone, than just 2 die that you redirect, right? This is supposed to be a massive nerf. It is a massive nerf. Yavaris is still really good, but it's not insane good.
Yeah, I mean, I like this change because Yavaris was fucking obnoxious to deal with.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you have to get to Yavaris and kill it, or your entire fleet is dead within like 2 rounds.
Right.
Now it's like, I can have other priority targets. You know?
Yeah. And it does give you like some cool things where, like, okay, your B-Wing is rolling a blue-black, right? Let's say accuracy crit hit, right? You add another crit hit. Wow, like, you're stopping the brace and doing 4 damage, right? Like, that's really good.
Yes.
That's really good.
That is really good.
Whereas before it would be accuracy crit hit, and you would do 2 damage and stop the brace.
But then you would have another.
Well, you have another shot. Yeah, for sure.
Then that one would be crit hit.
Yeah, for sure. But it is cool. I think
it just feels like everything has just been pulled back a little bit, and for sure, I think this is the reason for the change, is that multiple small attacks are much better than 1 larger attack.
Yep. Exactly.
And I mean, Yavaris is still fucking amazing for squadrons.
It's still fucking amazing.
It's still like 1 die. That's a fucking lot.
I agree.
That is a fucking lot. And also, like, squadrons like Wedge.
Oh, yeah.
Now don't get to roll fucking 14 dice.
Right. Now he's just rolling 7, right? Like, that's...
Now he's just rolling 7.
But he's not deleting 2 squadrons in 1 activation like he used to.
And that is like, you don't get to attack multiple targets, multiple attacks. It was too good. I like this version though. Did it go down in points, or is it?
I think it's the same 5.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
it's good.
I like all of these changes. I want more changes like this. Well, not changes, but more cards with this kind of iconography. The tapping, the resupplying, the heavy choices. I mean, there's only 6 turns. Like, why not spend defense tokens for some cool effects?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching our videos, and thanks for listening to the podcast. Ta-ta.